Ever dreamed of living in a castle? Well, these incredible fortresses might just blow your imagination away. We're taking you on a journey to see the 10 largest castles in the world. Grand, majestic, and built to stand the test of time. From towering walls to sprawling grounds, these epic structures will leave you in awe. Let's dive into the world of kings, queens, and the most magnificent castles ever built. Starts with number 10, Edinburgh Castle. Edinburgh Castle is like the crown jewel of Scotland, perched dramatically atop an extinct volcano, overseeing the city of Edinburgh like a royal guardian. Covering a whopping 35,737 square meters, it's not just any castle. It's the very heart of Scottish history. With its ancient stone walls, weathered by centuries of battles, sieges, and royal intrigue, this fortress tells stories that echo through time. Though most of the structures you see today are from the 16th century or later, St. Margaret's Chapel, dating back to the 12th century, stands proudly as the castle's oldest and most charming residence, a small but sacred spot where medieval royalty once prayed. Why visit? Well, if you're into history, this is your dream destination. Edinburgh Castle has seen it all, from being the seat of kings and queens to withstanding sieges that would make any action movie jealous. It houses the crown jewels of Scotland, the famous Stone of Destiny, and the National War Museum. Not to mention, the 1 o'clock gun fires daily, except Sundays, to the delight of visitors. It's as if the castle still demands attention, even centuries after its heyday. And let's not forget the panoramic views of the city below. You'll feel like you're on top of the world, both literally and metaphorically. Once you're done soaking in the history, there's plenty to do. Wander through the Great Hall, where medieval banquets once took place. Or explore the Royal Palace, where Mary, Queen of Scots, gave birth to James VI. You can even take a ghost tour if you're feeling brave. The castle's dungeons have a reputation for being haunted. Whether you're a history buff, a culture enthusiast, or just someone who enjoys a good view, Edinburgh Castle offers a royal experience you won't forget. Number 9. Citadel of Aleppo. The Citadel of Aleppo is like a mighty time machine, sitting high on its 50-meter hill, towering over the city of Aleppo in Syria. Covering an impressive 39,804 square meters, this ancient fortress has seen millennia of human history unfold around it. Imagine a place that's been in use since the middle of the 3rd millennium BC, making it one of the oldest castles on Earth. Civilizations as diverse as the Greeks, Byzantines, Ayyubids, and Mamluks have all left their mark on this towering structure. Though much of what you see today dates from the 13th century, when it was fortified during the rule of the Ayyubid dynasty. Why should someone visit? Simply put, walking through the Citadel of Aleppo is like stepping into a living history book. You can explore grand gates, fortified walls, and winding passages that have withstood the test of time and warfare. From its majestic stone bridge, which once served as the main entrance, to its massive halls and courtyards, the citadel offers a glimpse into the architectural ingenuity of medieval Islamic fortresses. The sweeping views from the top of the hill will give you a bird's-eye view of Aleppo, a sight that generations of rulers, soldiers, and citizens would have shared over the centuries. Inside, there's plenty to see and do. You can visit the throne hall where rulers once held court, explore the underground passageways that were used for defense, or admire the restored mosque, adding a peaceful touch to this powerful fortress. Whether you're a history lover fascinated by ancient civilizations or simply someone looking to experience the grandeur of one of the world's oldest castles, the Citadel of Aleppo offers an unforgettable journey through time where every stone tells a story. Number 8. Himeji Castle. Himeji Castle is like the crown jewel of Japan's medieval history, standing as a perfect example of what happens when beauty meets brute strength. Known as the White Heron Castle due to its elegant, soaring white towers, this 400-year-old fortress spreads over an impressive 41,468 square meters. It's a place that survived not only the test of time, but also wars, earthquakes, and bombings, making it a rare historical gem in Japan. Picture a grand samurai warrior donning the finest armor himeji as that, but in castle form. Its origins date back to the 14th century, but it wasn't until 1609 that it took its current, breathtaking shape. If you're looking for a blend of history, architecture, and serene beauty, this is your spot. Walking through Himeji Castle is like stepping into a living history book. Visitors can explore its winding paths, climb up to the main keep for panoramic views, and marvel at the intricate defense mechanisms like the maze-like approach designed to confuse invaders. Whether you're fascinated by Japan's feudal past or just want a stunning backdrop for photos, Himeji Castle won't disappoint. Plus, the surrounding gardens, especially Kokoen, make for a perfect place to unwind after soaking in all that history. Number 7. Buda Castle. Buda Castle is like the ultimate time traveler, with its walls and towers wearing the architectural styles of the ages. Perched on Castle Hill overlooking the Danube in Budapest, it was first fortified in the 13th century, after Mongols had a less-than-friendly visit. Since then, this 44,674 square meter wonder has faced invasions, battles, and countless rebuilds, each era leaving its own stylistic fingerprint. The result? A stunning blend of Gothic, Baroque, and everything in between, making Buda Castle not just a fortress but a tapestry of history. Visiting Buda Castle is like flipping through the chapters of a European history book while enjoying one of the best views in the city. As you wander through its courtyards, galleries, and museums, you'll encounter everything from medieval relics to grand royal chambers. The Hungarian National Gallery and Budapest History Museum, both housed within the castle, offer deep dives into the country's artistic and historical treasures. Beyond history and culture, simply standing atop the hill gives you panoramic views of Budapest's skyline, the Chain Bridge, and the Danube River, perfect for photographers, history buffs, and anyone who loves a good castle with a story or several to tell. Number 6. Spis Castle. Imagine a fortress so vast, it's as if someone decided to build a medieval town and then wrap it in walls for extra drama. That's Spis Castle, a massive stone fortress perched on a hill in eastern Slovakia. At 49,485 square meters, it's one of the largest castles in Central Europe, giving off major Game of Thrones vibes. Built in the 12th century and fortified over time, Spis Castle has seen everything from sieges to royal feasts and now offers a time travel experience through centuries of history, all with panoramic countryside views that will have your camera working overtime. Spis Castle is like a history buff's amusement park. You can wander through its labyrinth of courtyards, towers, and chapels, each section like a different chapter of a medieval novel. The upper section, fortified in the 13th century, is where knights would have sharpened swords and planned battles, while the lower courtyard, completed in the 15th century, feels like the medieval version of a chill town square. The castle's dramatic setting has attracted filmmakers too. It's been a backdrop for movies like Dragonheart and The Last Legion, so when you visit, don't be surprised if it feels a little cinematic. Visiting Spis Castle isn't just about seeing some old stones, it's about immersing yourself in medieval life. You can climb its towers for jaw-dropping views of the Slovak countryside, explore its small museum to see relics from its glory days, or simply imagine yourself in armor defending the fortress. Whether you're into history, photography, or just love a good story, Spis Castle offers an unforgettable journey into the past. Plus, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so it's got that prestigious must-see status for travelers who want to mix adventure with a bit of culture. Number 5. Hohensalzburg Castle. Imagine stepping into a medieval giant's playground that's Hohensalzburg Castle for you. Towering over Salzburg since 1077, this fortress is like a massive stone guardian overlooking the city from the Festungsberg Hill, spanning a mind-boggling 54,523 square meters. It's one of Europe's largest and most immaculately preserved castles, a medieval wonderland built initially for defensive purposes. With walls that seem to stretch into infinity and a mix of Romanesque and Gothic architecture, Hohensalzburg feels like stepping into a living history book. It's the kind of place where, as you stroll through its vast courtyards, you can almost hear the clash of swords and the whispers of ancient monks in the breeze. But Hohensalzburg isn't just a pretty stone facade, it's a whole medieval city on a hill. Inside, you'll find royal chambers decorated in medieval grandeur, the terrifying marionette museum. Yes, those puppets can be a little eerie. And the Golden Hall, a Renaissance stunner adorned with rich tapestries and ornate wooden ceilings. You can even climb the Recturm Tower for a view that seems straight out of a fairy tale, with Salzburg's skyline sprawling beneath you and the Alps framing the horizon. Whether you're interested in a deep dive into medieval history or simply looking for jaw-dropping views, the castle offers a bit of magic for everyone. So, why visit? Because Hohensalzburg Castle is a hands-on history lesson with a dash of adventure and a dollop of charm. You can explore it on foot or take the Festungsbahn, a funicular that'll whisk you up the hill like royalty. Inside, guided tours reveal its rich history, while seasonal events bring the castle's past to life, from nightly reenactments to Christmas markets. It's not every day you can wander through a 1,000-year-old fortress and feel like both a knight and a tourist. Number 4. Windsor Castle. Imagine stepping into a storybook fortress where nearly every stone has a tale to tell. That's Windsor Castle for you. With a footprint of over 54,000 square meters, it's like a royal palace mixed with a medieval mansion, wrapped up in one magnificent historic monument. This castle, perched in the scenic town of Windsor, England, isn't just another grand old building. It's the world's largest inhabited castle and has been home to British monarchs for over 1,000 years. As one of Queen Elizabeth II's official residences, Windsor is more than a museum. It's a lively and functional estate, a place where the Queen once welcomed guests, held state functions, and occasionally enjoyed a weekend retreat. Windsor Castle has something for everyone, whether you're a history buff, an architecture enthusiast, or just there for the perfect selfie backdrop. For starters, there's St. George's Chapel, a stunning Gothic church that houses the tombs of British monarchs, including the beloved Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. The chapel feels like stepping into another era, with ornate architecture and deep royal history packed into every corner. Then there's the opulent state apartments, filled with glittering treasures, armor displays, and artworks by masters like Rubens and Rembrandt. Imagine a royal art gallery meets palace chambers. If you're lucky, you might even catch the changing of the guard, a quintessentially British spectacle that's as precise as it is entertaining. Why visit Windsor Castle? Because it's an immersive dive into royal life, past and present. You'll find yourself strolling through immaculately maintained gardens, marveling at centuries-old tapestries, and wondering just how many footsteps have echoed along these ancient corridors. The castle grounds are enormous and filled with areas to explore, from the grand rooms to the peaceful gardens overlooking the Thames. Visiting Windsor Castle is like getting a VIP pass to Britain's history. It's not just about seeing a place, but experiencing the legacy of 1,000 years, up close and personal. Number 3. Prague Castle. Imagine Prague Castle as the crown jewel in Europe's tiara, sparkling atop a hill in the heart of the Czech Republic. This massive, sprawling structure, the largest ancient castle complex in the world at an astonishing 66,761 square meters, is more than just a castle. It's a living timeline that's withstood the test of centuries. Established in the 9th century, this castle has grown and transformed through medieval expansions, Gothic enhancements, and Renaissance makeovers, evolving like an architectural chameleon. Its walls hold centuries of Czech history, art, and culture, making it a wonderland for history buffs, art lovers, and anyone curious about the past. A visit to Prague Castle is a journey through time, starting with the show-stopping St. Vitus Cathedral, a Gothic masterpiece with its towering spires, ornate stained glass windows, and meticulously detailed carvings. This cathedral is the spiritual heart of the nation, where kings were crowned and saints were honored, making it a must-see for anyone who wants to feel the pulse of Czech history. Nearby, St. George's Basilica provides a different flavor of architectural charm, with its Romanesque design and red facade contrast to the cathedral's Gothic grandeur. Walking through the castle grounds feels like moving through the pages of a beautifully illustrated history book. But it's not all solemn architecture and historic gravitas. Prague Castle also invites modern-day adventurers to experience its lively cultural scene. Throughout the year, the castle hosts exhibitions, concerts, and events, adding a layer of dynamic energy to its ancient stones. Visitors can explore Golden Lane, a row of charming, colorful houses that once housed castle servants and famous residents like Franz Kafka. Or, for a touch of the dramatic, catch the changing of the guard ceremony in the castle courtyard. Whether you're wandering through its lush gardens, admiring priceless art, or catching panoramic views of Prague below, the castle offers endless ways to lose yourself in its grandeur, a trip worth taking for anyone looking to be wowed by history and beauty alike. Number 2. Mehrangarh Fort. Mehrangarh Fort in Jodhpur, Rajasthan, is like the Iron Man of Indian architecture, rugged on the outside, intricate and magnificent within. Perched on a 400-foot-high hill, it looms over Jodhpur like a silent sentinel, its 36-meter-high walls a testament to resilience and history. Built initially in 1459 by Rao Jodha, the founder of Jodhpur, this massive fort embodies a medieval grandeur that has only grown richer over the centuries. Its current form mostly dates back to the 17th century, a period when the fort was further expanded and embellished to flaunt its mix of Mughal and Rajput architectural details, setting it apart from any other fort in India. Entering Mehrangarh Fort feels like stepping into a time capsule of royalty and warfare. Passing through its 7 towering gates, each with battle scars and the imprints of history, is like walking through layers of time. Inside, the fort unveils a world of art, valor, and delicate craftsmanship. The fort houses several palatial rooms and halls like the Phul Mahal, Flower Hall, and Sheesh Mahal, Mirror Hall. Each a marvel of intricate carvings, vibrant frescoes, and gleaming mirror work that reflect the opulence of Jodhpur's royal past. A highlight for visitors is the museum within the fort, home to a rare collection of royal artifacts, weapons, paintings, and period costumes, offering a window into the luxurious yet fierce lifestyle of Rajput warriors and their families. A visit to Mehrangarh Fort isn't complete without taking in the sweeping panoramic views of Jodhpur, famously known as the Blue City due to the indigo-washed houses scattered around the fort. From this vantage point, you'll see the city spread out like a mosaic, with the arid Thar desert stretching out beyond. While exploring, travelers can also indulge in traditional folk performances, ziplining adventures, and authentic Rajasthani cuisine at the fort's cafes. For anyone visiting Rajasthan, Mehrangarh Fort is a must-see destination, combining history, adventure, and some of the most Instagram-worthy views you'll ever witness. Number 1. Malbork Castle. Imagine walking into a fortress that feels like the medieval equivalent of a 5-star fortress resort, and you're halfway to understanding Malbork Castle. Situated in northern Poland, this giant of medieval architecture covers over 143,000 square meters, making it the largest castle in the world. Built in 1274 by the Teutonic Knights warrior monks tasked with expanding Christian influence in the Baltic region, this colossal structure originally served as their headquarters. The castle grew alongside their ambitions, expanding in grandeur and space to accommodate the swelling ranks of knights and clergy. Eventually, the Teutonic Knights withdrew to Königsberg in 1466, leaving behind a fortress steeped in history and Gothic flair. Visiting Malbork Castle today is like stepping into the pages of an epic tale, complete with moats, towering red brick walls, and Gothic arches that echo with stories of the past. The castle's architecture is a marvel in itself, with sections that feel as though they're frozen in time, waiting for knights in shining armor to stride back into the halls. It's divided into three parts: the high, middle, and lower castles, each built with purpose, from defensive strength to opulent living quarters. The castle also houses an impressive museum where you can see armor, weaponry, and relics of the Teutonic Knights, giving a fascinating glimpse into medieval life and warfare. A visit here offers a buffet of activities, from exploring the castle's hidden chambers and towers to enjoying reenactments and medieval fairs. The annual Siege of Malbork festival draws visitors from around the world, transforming the castle grounds into a lively medieval fair, complete with jousting, archery, and reenactments that bring the castle's storied past to life. Malbork Castle is an adventure for anyone who loves history, architecture, or simply wants to experience the grandeur of a time when castles were more than fairy tale settings, they were the pulse of power. Wrapping up, visiting the world's largest castles is like diving into a grand adventure where history, mystery, and sheer architectural brilliance meet. Each castle offers a unique journey through ancient halls, majestic towers, and breathtaking views that bring the past vividly to life. Whether you're a history enthusiast, a lover of stunning structures, or just in it for a bit of fairy tale magic, exploring these castles is an experience you won't want to miss. If you enjoyed learning about these incredible fortresses, don't forget to like, share, and comment with your thoughts or castle recommendations. And for more travel inspiration and historical gems, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more adventures.